We've all been there. That moment of panic when you realize you've left your charger somewhere. But where? Is it in your hotel room, your rental car? Wherever it is, your battery is dying, and now you're stuck. But now you never have to worry about leaving your charger behind with the brand new charger leash. It's preset to ring as soon as you unplug your device. The alarm helps to remind you to unplug your cord and take it with you, ensuring you're never on the go without power. It's also a great anti-theft device that alerts you if someone else unplugs your phone at a public charging station, at an airport or a convention center. Never get stuck with a dead battery again. Charger leash.
I joined because I just love being in a team where everybody kind of has the same likes and differences, because we all kind of are nerdy and like to game and have fun.
I believe in STEM. I think it's great for kids. It's hands-on. It teaches them how to problem solve.
I want to be a robotics engineer when I grow up, and I feel like this will give me a good thing to put on my college application, and B, will give me a good jump start on programming and building robots.
My grandfather's been living in that world for over a decade.
There are no other priority missions. Do you care to explain?
You're just gonna have to trust me.
What is that object?
You are in possession of Ascendancy technology. Stand down.
Now, Atlas.
Today.
episode 49. 49 people.
Holy
Almost
cow.
50. Yeah. Holy cow. Pa-pow, Batman.
Almost.
We are ladies of the round table, and tonight we're really excited because, we have an epic guest. And when I say epic, I don't know which direction he is, but if you don't know who this young man is sitting, probably above, beside, or to the left or the right of me, then I don't know what you...
Super hint!
Oh, yeah, super hint. Pixie's got a little bit of a hint for you. Just a little bit. So, as you know, we are ladies of the round table, and I want to introduce you to my ladies at the table. We got Regality, Kim.
What's up, guys?
And page 6.
Hi, guys.
Nikki D'Angelo.
Hey, guys, how are ya?
And, of course, Pixie. I myself, Shervasta, and OMG, Christopher Jones, the man himself, the artist, the visionary, shall we call you that? Just go ahead, brush it off. Wow. So, Chris, thank you for joining us. I don't know if you can hear us.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I missed something there. It froze for a moment.
That's okay.
But I think you're all back now.
We are. You didn't hear all the epic intro we gave you.
Yeah.
I was hearing it and I laughed at being called a young man. You're so kind. Thank you. I'm not sure what I missed. So you could have called me. Well, I don't know what you called me. So.
We called you talented. We called you talented.
Oh, thank you so much.
Incredibly talented.
Yes. Yes. So, for our fans,
it's great to be with you guys.
We're just too ecstatic. We don't even know what to do with ourselves. We have all, every last one of us, unanimously voted that we had to have you on the show. So here you are. Poof.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
I know our own Six is very excited. She's over there doing some fangirling.
I'm definitely a huge fan. I love following you. So.
Awesome.
I think I might have even met you before, but I'm not quite sure. I might have met you at a
convention, so it's possible, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I think I might actually have something of yours somewhere in my boxes full of stuff.
She was a girl.
Signed.
She was a girl trying to hide in your luggage.
Nikki, I thought we agreed we weren't going to tell him that.
I would just like to say it's Frost. You can't claim him as your bae. He's our bae.
The chat's already hopping.
Get wrecked, Frost.
I pay extra fees for overweight to the airport often enough without people hiding in my bags. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So Chris, let me just speak to your resume. I'm only gonna name off a few things because we could be here all night with all the accolades that we're gonna give you. I mean,
Okay.
OMG, but you have done some amazing books as well as some shows. We just saw your clip. I mean, I'm beside myself because I'm so excited to have you actually here. I've met you a couple of times and we've done some awesome conversations together, but Young Justice, I mean, come on.
Well, I have been fortunate enough to be associated with some amazing properties, and Young Justice is definitely a favorite. And while, obviously I cannot claim credit for any of the amazing stuff they did on the show, I'm very proud of the work that we did in the comic, and most of the run of the comic was written or co-written by Greg Weisman, who is one of the producers of the show, and it's considered part of the canon of the show. So, that's very near and dear to my heart. We just did a panel. I was at the Gallifrey 1 convention in Los Angeles, which is primarily a Doctor Who convention, but they do some stuff other than Doctor Who. And we did a Women of Young... and we did a Women of Young Justice panel there where we had it was myself and Greg Weisman and some of the voice actors from the show, and we filled the room. It was great.
And not only Young Justice, but Pixie, what else that you can't put that bear up, Pixie? There you go.
I drew a story for the one who doesn't know, it's DC's comic based on the 1960s Adam West Batman TV series. Drawing a story for that is something that would have been on my bucket list had I known that such a thing would ever become a possibility to do. So, I mean, that was a thrill, and my understanding is going to be doing another one of those very soon. So that makes me very, very. Yeah, I've drawn Batman in a lot of different contexts. I got to draw a story for that. I was the artist on The Batman Strikes, which was the companion comic for the Batman animated series, which, you know, was the animated series that had the challenge of being the first Batman show to follow the massively popular Batman and Batman Beyond Justice League, that whole continuity. You know, there was a lot of fan backlash against that because they're like, no, it's not Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, it's not real. But more and more, their Batman show, and that was their, you know, that was their comic, the one that I drew. I've gotten to draw some Justice League Adventures, which was the tie-in for that animated show. I have drawn some Batman and Justice League for the main DC universe, stuff that wasn't based on animation at all. And some stuff for Marvel too. Avengers vs. Mightiest Heroes. A lot of my stuff for Marvel has either been based on animation or it's never been seen. I did a Spider-Man inventory story that has never seen the light of day. I did 80 pages of art for an Avengers coloring and activity book that when I took the assignment, it was going to be a book, and now those pages instead are getting parceled out and they're appearing in bits and pieces in other stuff. Things change. I don't know. I guess you showed the trailer for this Parallel Man project.
We did, and as you were talking just a minute ago, we were showing some of those clips that, you know, of your artwork. Amazing. I mean, as you were talking, they were showing, you know, and everybody in chat's been making some comments, and we usually have Pixie and Kim jump in there and throw up any questions we have for the chat. So, chat, I'm going to remind you, if you've got those questions, be sure to tag Pixie and Kim so we can ask those for you. And we're also doing live tweeting, so we have those coming in real time as well. Use that hashtag LORTLive to get those questions to Chris. And Chris, that trailer that ran, go ahead and tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, Parallel Man is what I spent my last year doing. I was approached by this new company called Future Dude Entertainment, which is based here in Minnesota, which is where I'm located. And they initially approached me to do the art on this comic book, and it was going to be originally a 6-issue, turned into a 7-issue comic book miniseries. But what was really interesting about it is they had a plan to simultaneously develop several different incarnations of the property. So I was drawing a comic book. They were simultaneously creating kind of a promo reel pilot for an animated version of it, which is what you played the trailer for. And I did storyboards for that and did some story development on the animated version of that, which is all based on sequences from the first issue of the comic. And as it might have said on the trailer, John Cho voices the main character, Nick Morgan, in that. Lance Reddick from Fringe is the voice of Atlas, who is Nick Morgan's AI assistant, that floating head that you saw. And Ming-Na Wen, who was the voice of Mulan and is now on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she plays Mackenzie Cartwright, who is the operative of the Ascendancy who is chasing after Nick Morgan. So we
That's
had
a serious lineup.
Yeah, so we had the comic, we had the animated thing, which it is finished finally. It should be online very soon on the Future Dude website. When it goes live, I'll certainly be pointing people to it from all of my social media. And a collectible deck card game and a mobile device game and all this stuff.
Nice.
And basically, the idea is rather than do the comic and then see if that takes off and then start trying to develop spin-off stuff from there, the plan was to develop a bunch of stuff at once so you could try to reach different segments of audience, comics fans, game fans, whatever, and hopefully have it all kind of cross-pollinate and get some synergy going that way. And yeah, it pretty much it ate a year of my life. I did some of the most detailed, dense comic art I've ever done for, like I said, the 7-issue miniseries, plus doing storyboarding and other stuff for the animation and all that. And yeah, it was really cool. I think issue 5 is out currently, and there'll be a trade paperback when it's all done. And depending on how it does, it can certainly continue on from there. The basic premise of it, I should actually say what it's about. The basic premise of it is on a parallel Earth during World War II. Instead of having the Manhattan Project, which led to breakthroughs that let America have atomic weapons and atomic power, instead they had a breakthrough that allowed them to breach the dimension barrier and travel to parallel worlds. So that America used that technology to not only win the war, but they just went on to completely dominate their Earth. And then because of the nature of this technology, they didn't have to stop there. So, that was World War II. Now, by 2014, that America has turned into something called the Ascendancy, which has an empire of a dozen parallel Earths that they directly control and have as part of the political structure. Plus all the other Earths that they have visited and just charted or rated for resources or decided they weren't, wasn't worth, dealing with. They're about to try to annex our Earth. They've got all this amazing technology because they've been able to pick and choose the best of all these worlds they've visited and have all the resources to fuel everything.
It's like
And so, of course, there's a resistance movement, and shenanigans ensue, and all of that. But I mean, that's basically what you're playing with in this series. So it gave me a ton of cool stuff to get to draw. The story is by Jeffrey Morris and Frederick Haugen, and they had some artists contributing to it when I initially came on board, because they were developing like vehicles and stuff in 3D because of the animation and games that they were planning on doing. And Eric Chu, who was the principal designer on the new Battlestar Galactica series, did some vehicle design concept art for it. And then but then I still got to come in and do a lot of character design, and like I said, we keep going to every issue. We go to new worlds and so much stuff to design and draw. It was an amazing project. I just finished issue 7, so we'll see if more comes after that. But 2014,
Chris,
what?
We can honestly understand, after all of that, we can understand why this ate up so much time and sequestered you away from reality, because this is a huge project and it's not the typical I hate to use the word cartoon, but hey, I have a kid in the house, it's cartoons for me. For adults, that storyline is very intricate, so it's something that's going to keep you coming back and wanting to be involved. That being said, I know that we've got some chat questions coming up, and we also have some questions from the ladies, so we're going to just start throwing them at you. So are you ready?
Absolutely.
He's like, bring it on. So let's start with Kimmy.
All right. I I would really like to know a little bit more about Convergence and how that came to be.
Convergence, meaning the convention I work on, not the DC crossover event.
Yes, the convention.
Yeah, boy, way back in 1998, I helped start a science fiction convention here in the Twin Cities area of Minnesota called Convergence. There was another convention that had at that point been running for over 30 years in this area called MiniCon, and they were going through some changes, and it sparked a couple different groups to try to start a new convention to kind of be some of the things that MiniCon wasn't going to be anymore. And MiniCon is still, running today. They're healthy and chugging away, but it gave us back then the impetus to start this convention, and it's a general science fiction convention. It has a different theme every year that we try to, base a lot of our programming around. Usually like genre-based themes. We've had a villain year. We've had a fantasy year. We had a British invasion year. The first 14 years of the convention, I was one of the members of the board of directors and oversaw all artwork and publications for the convention. Did a lot, not all, but a lot of the artwork myself, including one of the things that I still do. I kind of reserve it as one of my little things is we have in a typical year around 6 to 8 guests of honor at Convergence, and I draw unique custom badge art for each of the guests, trying to come up with a design that that reflects stuff they've worked on. Which you're designing art for an audience of one, so it's a bit time consuming, but it's great for making a really unique first impression when the guests show up that this might be a little different than the conventions you're used to.
I have to say, when I met Chris did, out of kind of his own heart, a custom drawing for my daughter when she went up to meet him. Not because she asked, not because she looked like she wanted something, but because the conversation that they had on a one-on-one with her being interested in his work as a genuine, young budding wannabe artist, he went ahead and drew something for her and signed it. And that was the first person who gave her something autographed, and she has it put up in a nice frame and kept up, and she remembers that, and she was 9 at the time. So I just want you to know that the things that you do like that are really genuine for your fans mean a lot to your fans. We appreciate that.
It's very sweet to hear. Thank you. I generally try to be nice to fans at conventions because I still am a fan often at conventions, and I certainly remember the days when if I was at a convention at all, it was as a fan. I feel very privileged that I can sit on behind the table and have people interested in what I do. But the thing that I will bend over backwards is when I see kids at a con. Because there's just nothing sweeter. There's nothing, that makes you excited for the future, like seeing, a kid having that first amazing, eye-opening, experience with the larger world of fandom. And I was lucky enough to have some good experiences when I was a kid and first started going to conventions. I kind of feel like, it's my responsibility now to pass that on. I say this to my girlfriend Hal, who helps me at conventions all the time. I feel like I'm in a position of privilege that it can take so little effort on my part to have such a big impact with somebody who's a fan of me or my work. So you got to do that kind of thing. You have to, I think.
Well, that's awesome. I think that people greatly appreciate that. Obviously.
Oh, good.
Nikki, what about you?
I got a couple of questions that bring them back way before the questions you guys are asking. And The follow-up question is going to be inspired by Mal, who's one of our, most active supporters. So I'm going to start with mine, which is, can you tell us about the earliest moments in your life where you just knew that you wanted to draw to be an artist?
Well, I don't remember ever not wanting to do this. I've always loved drawing. I've always loved superheroes and comic books. I've got the job I wanted when I was 5 years old, which I realize how rare and fortunate that makes me. Well, I'll tell the story. So my mother, who always tried very hard to be supportive of my ambitions, but didn't know any more about the comics industry than most mothers do. She took me when I was 10 down to the office of our local newspaper, because at the time we didn't understand any difference between the comic book industry and the newspaper comic strip industry. So she thought maybe somebody there could answer some questions, point us in a direction. And the receptionist at the paper, I think, was very happy to know that there was a big comics fan who was a writer on staff, because it meant that she had someone to foist us off on. She didn't know what to tell us. So I met a gentleman named Roy Everson, who was, like I said, a staff writer for the paper. And I do not know how he talked his editor into this, but he not only convinced them to do a nice public interest story on this 10-year-old kid that wanted to draw comics, but what he talked them into doing is they had a kids supplement in the Sunday edition of their paper. It was one tabloid page folded, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, newspaper pages out of it. And it would be like really simple news stories for kids with big print and puzzles and games and stuff like that. He convinced them to take one out of those 4 pages that they were paying for, it was a syndicated thing,
wow,
and replace that with a full-page superhero comic that I wrote, drew, and lettered every week for 51 weeks.
Wow.
And yeah,
that is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know how I did it 51 weeks in a row as a kid that age without missing.
Right.
I fully admit there were times that Roy Everson came over to my house to collect that week's page, and I was like, just a minute, it's almost done. The joke I always make, but it's true, is I may have only been 10 years old, but looking back at it now, you'd swear I was 12. But I look back at Mr. Muscle.
Okay.
And I look back at those pages now, and I can see myself learning to draw. I was swiping from everything from like old Joe Shuster era Superman comics to current stuff that was coming out at the time. I was learning how to put a page together. I think the biggest experience, the biggest takeaway I had from that was just the grind of the deadlines. It's like, this has to get done every week. If you want to take some time off, you have to work ahead. I don't know. I've looked at how I evolved in my pursuing drawing comics, and I feel like I was kind of on a different path than a lot of people I see that are trying to break in, and I don't know what to credit it to other than that experience. So yeah, I mean, I've always, wanted to do this, always loved doing this. I don't know. I mean, I can tell the whole story of how I ended up breaking in if you want, but
I'm sure we would be very interested in that. I don't know if we have the time, but yeah, definitely.
I
Give it a go.
Or if you've got more questions, let's go to the questions.
All right. Well, I could let Pixie.
Yo, it's my chat. I run this.
I stole the question because it was a follow-up to mine.
No, go for it.
All right. So this is just a quick question from one of our viewers, one of our very, very active viewers. And because
it would be a VIP viewer.
And I had it in front of me until she said I was stealing it. Okay, What comic inspired you the most in your youth?
Are we looking at like a comic book character or an individual comic book?
You answer that question with the way it makes sense to you.
That's a true journalist for
If you were a tree, what kind? No, sorry.
Whether
Actually,
it is,
I like that one.
Yeah.
whether it is superheroes or, I'm a Doctor Who fan. People ask me what my favorite Doctor is. I'm always terrible at choosing favorites of anything. My brain doesn't tend to work that way.
Well, this isn't the favorite. This is the one that inspired you.
I'm going to say, but hands down, my favorite comic book character growing up always has been Batman.
Yes. Okay.
And I talk about feeling lucky that I get to do what I do. I've gotten to draw a lot of Batman. When I was 5, the thing I wanted to do wasn't just grow up and draw comics. I wanted to grow up and draw Batman. That was the plan. So I don't know if there's a specific issue that stands out that I can point to, but those comics that I got my hands on as a kid, I wanted to do all of it. I wanted to draw everybody. But, I mean, the thing that was, foremost is I want my crack at drawing Batman. And, I've had that. I'd like more of it.
Okay.
A lot of the time I've had drawing Batman has been drawing, specific versions of Batman. Like, it's this animated show's version of Batman, or it's less Batman. I'd like to have a little more opportunity to craft my Batman. But, as far as, what's inspired me, that's a big one.
All right. And I guess I could pass it on to who's next in the group. I think it was Pixie, because my next question would have been, what was your turning point? But they have some pretty good questions over here, too.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Maybe we can come around and do more than one pass.
We'll see if Carmen gives us enough time.
Pixie, come on. Bring it.
Okay, so I might be putting you a little on the spot here, and if I am, I really apologize. So we all kind of have dreams for what we want our communities to look like. What does your ideal comic community look like?
Well, I never I don't consider myself any kind of an activist, and I certainly didn't ever set out to be a major activist voice or anything, but I talk a lot on social media and at conventions about diversity. I definitely want more diversity in our readerships, in our in the fiction we create, and in the pool of creators that produce it. And I say this as a white male. I'm in as privileged a position as you can get in terms of gender and ethnicity. But you know what? I want comics that speak to a larger audience. I want everyone to feel represented and included. And the way you get there is to include those voices in the pool of people that are telling the stories.
You're on the right show, my friend. We are all on the same page. We feel the same way you do.
Good. Wait, you're all white males that feel this way?
Hey,
exactly.
Depends on the day. Depends on the day.
Carmen goes back and forth.
No.
That's true for certain. Okay.
Some days I put my pants on one leg at a time.
Some days you put pants on. What?
Hey, gotta be.
There's advantages to working from home. I'm just saying.
Wait a second. Could you stand up, please?
I am wearing pants now. Thank you very much.
Well, speak for yourself. I'm not.
Right, guys.
I'm just saying, I'm the weirdo here who just puts the pants on the ground and then hops into them.
That's when we get our sub button, then you get to start seeing the bottom half, whether we don't have pants or pants. Okay, so hey, you gotta wait your turn.
I have to say, I have done quite a few episodes. Never mind.
Never mind. Hey, who's next with the question?
Yeah.
I think we should go to a chat question. We got a chat question?
Yeah, so let's do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So if there was one piece of work that you had to say you were most proud of, which piece of work would it be?
Well, again, the question is how much to narrow the focus of that question. The most rewarding thing I've been involved with is Young Justice. And the reason I say that is, aside from the fact that I'm very, very proud of the work I did on that book, and couldn't have been happier with the quality of the scripts I had to draw and all of that. I've never been involved with anything else that led to engaging with such an amazing fan base. I know that a lot of that fan base was built by the show, but I got very engaged with those fans through social media and through conventions, and just the passion for it, and Young Justice. There you go. More questions.
More questions. Go ahead.
So we had a really good one in chat coming to us from Nippon Pod. So how do you personally plan to properly represent diversity within your art?
Well, you look for opportunities. I mean, I'm not in a position where I have the resources to be producing a lot of creator-owned stuff right now, and when you're a freelance artist for hire, you kind of have to work within the framework of the story you're hired to draw. That said, you have the opportunity to make choices about everything from characters that you get to design as far as like main characters in the story, who you show in the background, what you show characters doing. I mean, to use Young Justice as an example again, I kept getting compliments from fans on how I drew the female characters in Young Justice, and at first I was kind of baffled by that because I'm like, well, they were designed for the show. I mean, if you're saying that I was drawing them on model, well, thanks, but I don't really quite get the point of the compliment. Then I slowly realized they're complimenting me not because of what the character design is. They're complimenting me because of the way the characters are treated on the page. When Batgirl gets into a fight, she's there to kick butt and not to like look at my butt.
Yeah.
So
there's no cry for justice stuff going on here.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It's little things like that where I don't always have the option of, oh, well, let's put in more women or more ethnic minorities or more disabled, differently abled people or whatever. But you look for opportunities and do what you can. So there you go.
You get points for, when you present a female, you at least put her face into the panel. That's always...
We try.
we like to include her face.
Well, I mean, like I said, even if you're locked into who the main characters are, you try to show people in a more diverse world. There was an issue of Parallel Man where I was doing a group shot of scientists, and so it was supposed to be about a dozen characters, and 3 of them were like existing main characters, and the rest were just to fill out the group. There you go. There was an opportunity, so I made sure that we had some close to gender equity. I did as much with ethnic diversity as I could, given the specifics of the culture that was being portrayed. You have to read the story. It goes from, as you go from world to world, it gets interesting. I put one of them in a wheelchair because I get frustrated that you only ever see a character in a wheelchair if it's important to the story that there's a character in a wheelchair. You try to represent not the myself demographically. I try to represent the world I see. And I mean, I think that's all you can really ask, unless you have the opportunity to be creating things from whole cloth. Then you should ask more.
You do a great job. Your work is fantastic.
Oh,
I'm
thank
a
you.
huge fan of Manhattan Project. I'm a huge fan of Batman 66. Young Justice. Who isn't a fan of Young Justice? Young Justice is, a whirlwind right now in the comic community, and for good reason. It's well drawn, it's well produced in the show, it's well written. The show stays very close to the comic, and I think that people enjoy that when there's a nice close crossover, but there's enough to be different to get you to do both. And it's definitely something that we were excited when we knew that you were coming. So
Cool.
my question kind of got taken. I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask who your favorite character was as a child, and if it's still carried into today, which obviously is Batman. Personally, my favorite Bat Family characters recently were Gail Simone's Batgirl
Of
was
course.
fantastic. Oh my god, I ate up Gail Simone's Batgirl. But Batwoman is probably my favorite written Bat Family comic. She came in the new Kate Kane, not the older Batwoman, for people who are gonna crucify me for canon. I know that they're different.
Hey, send the tweets to her.
Listen, it's happened to me already. I wrote an article about Batwoman, and I was getting crucified on forums because people were trying to pin me to saying it was the other Batwoman. But if you had a chance, right, to get into something maybe like a new take on Batwoman, which would be huge because the art style is very iconic for her right now, or if you were to take a swing, I know we have Babs Tarr doing the new Batgirl. If you could do another Bat Family member, who would you choose now if you had your pick of anybody, even someone who has no comic now, someone from, the old Detective Comics? Would you bring someone back? Would you, who would you like to?
I don't know off the top of my head who I'd bring back that isn't currently out there. I certainly would love a crack at Batgirl or Batwoman or Nightwing or any of those. The thing that gets me about so many of these characters is you get characters who are spin-offs of existing male characters. You have all the Batman spin-offs and all the Spider-Man spin-offs and all the and I there are some great characters out there, and what Gail Simone did on Batgirl is like a great example. What they're doing now in Batgirl is a great example. But it always frustrates me when you see She-Hulk or any of these characters where kind of by definition they're in the orbit of an existing character, and I like seeing characters that stand on their own and are their own thing. But the challenge you have is if it's a major company like Marvel or DC, they have a vested interest in maintaining these characters and these trademarks that they already have out there. You don't see a lot of brand new characters getting created that aren't either a spin-off from or a revamp of something existing, just because as a creator, if I have a wholly original new idea, well, why would I do that as work for hire DC and Marvel and give most, if not all, of the rights away, as opposed to taking some older thing and redeveloping it? And unfortunately, because you have this history that's very male-dominated, very white male-dominated, the best you can do sometimes is take older characters and revamp them. And, we're going to, take, had been some crusty old white guy like me and make it into something else. And, and that's great. You find the opportunities when you can, and it can certainly be done really well. You know, I would love to see, you know, I would love to see the next Green Lantern be not white but not male. I mean, we've had female, we've had not white, we've had alien Green Lanterns on the Green Lantern Corps, but when you have like the one Green Lantern of Earth, it's like, can we mix
I'm
up?
actually.
I love the Batman young time frame Green Lantern. That's the young kind of floats around. Female Flash in the Batman Beyond time frame, the Justice League.
I think that we should have that.
Anyway, I
So,
get
Chris-
wandered away from your question. I tend to ramble.
No, not at all.
It's
no,
a thing
not at
I
all.
do.
You're in good
Yeah.
company with me for that, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I think we all do that.
Oh.
I don't know. I
sitting
stay
here.
quiet. I don't
Sidebar,
talk that
guys.
much.
Sidebar, guys. Who's your favorite Green Lantern? Not to put anyone on the spot. P.S. It's Kyle Rayner.
P.S. You don't have a vote.
Wow. We don't even
Okay.
get a vote.
Done. She's like, you don't get a vote, guys.
All right,
so
all right. Guy
what we're
Gardner
gonna do?
has a good run there.
What we're gonna
Does anybody
what we're
have
gonna do?
a lantern who was not Green Lantern when you first started reading the character? So I think most people's favorite is just whoever was Green Lantern when they started. Are there exceptions to that?
Well,
Everybody goes.
I've been reading I've been rereading Jeff Johns' Green Lanterns lately, and he did such a fantastic job with Kyle Rayner. You just fall in love with him. Like, and personally, I think my boyfriend's favorite Green Lantern is Guy Gardner, but I think that, and he's great. He's fantastic too. But Johns did a freaking fantastic job with every Green Lantern that he's touched. So I could see why anybody would be happy either way. But Green Lantern's a great example of diversity, and the Green Lantern books lend a huge palette of where you could run and how you can not only be tied to reality, but how you can go beyond reality. And I think that those are, whenever I think of diversity, my first thought is always Green Lantern. So I was glad you kind of brought it there. I actually just interviewed Dave Gibbons too.
Green Lantern is one of those titles like, oh, I'd love to draw Green Lantern. So
I actually just did an interview with Dave Gibbons too, and he did Green Lantern for. So
She's like,
it was
I get my
fantastic.
plug
Yeah.
in.
Green Lantern.
Well, Dave Gibbons is a plug all on his
Right.
own. He's if you want to talk about legend, like, there you go. But he did some great Green Lantern work too. So I've been sucked into Green Lantern lately. If you want to ramble, we can ramble all night about Green Lantern. You came to the right.
I'm gonna cut you off because right now I definitely have some big news. While we have all of these people in chat, 50 of you I think is what I'm counting on the Twitch counter. Thank you guys for coming, and our Chris Hype, our regulars, thank you for being here. And we also want to thank all of our sponsors that have been hanging out with us over the last however long. What was that? Bonks in chat? Is Bonks in chat? Bonks? Were you yelling at me?
Oh my god. But what about Ryan Reynolds?
Oh my gosh, she's just going crazy over there. This is what happens, Chris, when you get with a bunch of ladies.
That
Just
movie
lost
was
control.
not his fault.
It really
Good
wasn't.
actor,
It
bad
really wasn't.
writing.
Good actor, horrible writing.
Yeah. It's like
Just like Batman and Robin was not George Clooney's fault.
oh no, that was.
Oh my.
He even apologized for it.
Would have been a good movie. Is that what you're saying?
He apologized for it.
Because he's awesome.
Well, okay.
Because he's awesome.
Let's not gush over him, okay?
Yeah. Well, big announcement for us at Roundtable Media and Ladies of the Roundtable. We officially have a new sponsor. And if you don't know who it is, there's a big scrolling window up there. We officially now have Origin PC as our new sponsor. We'd like to thank Origin for jumping on board and supporting our charity.
And we will be doing some mega giveaways with them in the next coming months, and also working directly with them at some conventions and some promo events. They are epic for joining our roundtable family and supporting our STEM Education Scholarship Foundation. Thank you so much, Origin.
Thank you, Origin.
Awesome.
Aren't
Yes.
they from Europe?
No, that's a negative. They're not from
I'm
Europe.
just
Punch.
saying, George Clooney was not the best Batman. We all know in reality,
Michael Keaton.
Val Kilmer.
Oh,
First
We
of
said
all,
best, not hottest.
George Clooney is hands down best nipples. We can't-
Did they add the nipples to the scene?
yeah.
I know.
Yes,
I know.
yes.
He is the Batman.
Wow.
I'm actually a really big fan of Bat Bale, so Bale Man, whatever you want to call him. I'm a huge fan of him, actually. His voice
All right,
doesn't
ladies,
bother me.
I am about to do a giveaway in chat. So if you want to be entered in the giveaway, make sure you hit that follow button down there and type in keyword Batman for the giveaway. Guys, hit it, type it in there, and we'll do a giveaway here shortly.
Wait, Mal said Adam West is the best Batman. How did we all miss that? He's the
No,
best.
Adam West really was the best Batman.
Yeah.
Adam West is Batman. There is no other. So after that, you can start throwing people in the mix.
Christian Bale did really good. Like, let's give Christian Bale some
Yeah.
props.
No, he
Not
did.
the
He did.
same
He
Batman,
He did
though.
really good, but
Yeah,
it's
but
not
he-
the same Batman.
Not the same. Yeah.
He was great. He was great at keeping
He
to
was a good Dark Knight.
the concept of I'm gonna scare the shit out of you.
Just
And
gonna tear you apart.
I saw Batman Begins multiple times in theaters. Normally, I fall asleep at movies in theaters. And I went and saw that multiple times. I didn't even try to make out with my boyfriends during it.
Oh my, her
That's a big
boyfriend
deal.
again.
That
Your
was a big
boyfriend
deal.
is going to be totally upset that Arcade Android in the channel if you don't stop talking like that.
My ex-boyfriend told me that I need to get over Batman.
Those are nerd girl problems
So-
right there, guys.
He
Nerd
told me
girl
I-
problems.
He told
Hey,
me I
does
needed
this-
to grow up.
Does this all change when we see Ben Affleck in the Batman suit?
No.
I'm sorry. I don't care about Batfleck. I just don't care.
I'll give him a chance and then I'll tell you how I feel later.
I'll give him a chance or two.
All right,
That's
guys, last chance at that giveaway. Make sure you are following to be able to enter. Hit that Batman in chat for the keyword, and I'll be rolling here shortly. We're going to move on to a hot topic from Kim. Let's move on to that hot topic from Kim right now.
All right. So, Dreeps is an alarm playing game that's been released on the iOS, and the game is virtually an RPG that plays itself. So, there's been a lot of controversy about this game. So basically, the only thing you have to do is set the alarm when you wake up in the morning, and you can put your phone down. You cannot look at it for the rest of the day, and the RPG will literally play itself. You don't have to do anything except for set the alarm. And pretty much that's how they're marketing it. Are you too busy to play an RPG? Good, because we have one that'll do it for you. Yay!
Wow.
So, a lot of people have a tiff with the game, and they're calling it the laziest RPG ever. And so, my whole thing with it is, okay, I kind of understand, because there's been a lot of games coming out with casual gaming of, we have to wait in order to get something. We have to wait in order for our crops to grow or whatever on Farmville. if you're down with Farmville. Or any other things. I know my mom played a ton of iOS games that she had to wait in order to do something. So, is that really what they're trying to go for? But, I mean, all at the same time, when I thought about this game, I instantly thought of Tamagotchi. But Tamagotchi, you can at least, feed your pet or play with it. And I was like, well...
It does, too!
Yeah, and it does! You have something that you have to do. And this game, you don't have anything to do with. And I was like, man, Tamagotchi has got this game beat, and that's sad. And so, I wanted to ask, how do you guys feel about the general purpose of the game? Do you agree with a lot of people that are saying that it's stupid, or do you think it actually might have a place among games that require waiting in order for it to progress? Chris, I think we'll start with you.
There are thousands and thousands of role-playing games played every day, not by me. Why would I need to pay to have there be one more not played by?
Well, it's actually, I like the way she said it. It's actually marketed as an alarm.
Yeah, it's
not a game.
Pay $2.99. I wouldn't even pay $2.99. I'm just like,
wow.
I have an alarm on my phone that's free.
All right.
And I that.
So this isn't so bad.
The use I could see for this is if you needed to set up an alibi because you were going to commit. I obviously wasn't killing Mr. Smith. I was playing this role-playing game and couldn't have been across town in the library with the candlestick.
Murdering Professor Plum.
With the candlestick.
At least that's a game you have to play.
In the library.
I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Why? I mean, why would you, and like also, if you were really into the game, why would you just be like this all day?
That's a VOD if I ever saw one.
Nikki, what do you think about it?
Well,
but the words.
I could take you back to a time when there was a game on the Amiga that was a little guy that walked around a house, and every now and then he'd come up to the screen and knock on it, and you'd have to just click on something to feed him. That was a game. This is marketed totally as an alarm game, and I think that that's the perfect way to put it. If someone wants to wake up in the morning to this, I think that's cool. It gives them a reason to wake up. Wait, I gotta see what my guys are doing or what this is doing. Customers kind of like it too. I mean, it doesn't get a lot of 1 stars. It gets 3, 4, 5, 3. People are liking it. I wouldn't buy it though. It just wouldn't be my cup of tea.
Okay.
All right, Paige.
I just can't get over the alarm clock.
It's an alarm clock. Do you see it though?
Left you at a loss. Yeah, I'll put the link. I'll put the link up in chat.
I'm looking at it in iTunes right now.
I kind of think about like when I see those ratings. Do you remember the wolf shirt that everyone was pretending was magic?
Yeah.
And everyone went on Amazon and gave it great ratings and was writing about it. Like, I kind of think that maybe there's something orchestrated behind that.
Oh,
but
by
no,
the way,
I mean,
only 24 people rated it.
I think, yeah. Okay, never mind.
I mean, it's basically like ratings for 50 Shades of Grey. No matter what, no one cares.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, I don't know, man. I think that you brought up an interesting point, Nikki, where if that's something that somebody really wants to do, like, hey, I want to wake up and play with my guy, and they don't want something that consumes them, I guess this is something for them. I don't really have an opinion on it other than, like, if it's a bad game, it's not going to do well, and I have faith in that. So I'm not going to touch it.
It's not a game. It's just showing you what's...
Clock,
yeah, it literally, all you do, it will progress whether you have it on or not. Like, you could come in, and he'll just be attacking something. I don't know. And you're like,
movie, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it.
I think it's left everyone at a loss.
Yeah, it's beyond me. It's like, okay, cool.
Can I give you like what one of the
cheese puffs and drink Mountain Dew for you?
Can I tell you what one of the people that gives it 5 stars said? Maybe this will help.
Please do.
I really love this alarm clock. it would be nice to see it expand. Like he gains gear and new skills, even being updated on what he does next in text notifications would be nice. I came back to check on him yesterday and he had a whole new friend. I wish I had been there to see it happen. Great job, guys. Edit. It would be nice if we could edit the companions' names and gear as well. I'm like, well, that's a game. This isn't. And
This
then
the game.
yeah, and then
Oh.
all the other people have as interesting statements as him. But you know, having Chris on the show is pretty cool because the artwork, if you look at the artwork, it's pretty damn nice. It's not so bad, you know? So it is pretty cool. I
This
still
is our
aren't paid.
resident expert
This
now.
sounds
We're
like
gonna
you're
call on him every time.
Yeah,
It
I
sounds
still,
like you're getting Facebook status updates for your role playing character.
that's what it should do. It should send
It's
you
a damn email page.
Hey.
you gotta get him his own Facebook.
I have to give Chris mad props for wrecking this game. There are tons of RPGs not played by me every day. Why am I gonna pay money to not play another RPG?
Quote it. Put it in the quotes.
That was awesome.
Like, bravo! Hats off to you, sir.
I am not getting endorsement money from these people.
What if he dies? Gets eaten by a dragon.
OMG, guys.
This makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. I can understand the concept that, like, you know, some of the people in chat have brought up, like, you watch people play games on stream. You do. You watch people play games on stream, but you also interact with them through chat. You can listen to music. You can watch the game. It's basically like television, except for, like, it's another person, and they can interact with you. So it's almost like a weird little game unto itself, especially if you're like me and you like trolling trolls. Favorite pastime. So, like, that makes sense. I don't understand why you would pay money for an alarm clock, which you totally do have on your phone. Kim already brought this up. They usually come free on your phone, and they're really crappy, and if you're like me and hard of hearing, you have to have, like, a 30,000 decibel alarm clock with, like, giant flashing lights. And, you know, it's gotta, like, shake the bed, like those little cord machines.
Math equation. I set
Yeah,
a
like-
math equation, so I have to wake up and do an equation to wake up.
So does the
Are you
music.
kidding me? If I woke up and had to do a math equation, I would literally never be able to shut the daggum thing off.
I would never wake up because I'd just be like, nah, I ain't dealing with that.
Ain't nobody got time for that in the morning. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh man. I tell you what, guys, the math equation, my kid does that as well. And I said the phone would be broken because I'd be so frustrated with it that there would be a problem. But hey, some people like 6 just feel that that's the thing that they want to do. And no cam issue. Sorry, I apologize. That was me. I left it off. Anyway, there's a giveaway incoming giveaway. Type LORT live for the keyword for that giveaway entry.
Arcade Android says, where's the service that lets me pay someone to come into my house and play RPGs for me? I will make all the decisions, but they do all the work.
Woo,
Well,
Arcade Android, start a
well-
business, mister.
Rolling dice is too hard for you.
All those businesses are in China. Aren't those like the leveling companies for WoW and stuff?
Yeah, gold
The
farming.
problem with it is that you don't really want to wake up to do it because you're not doing anything in the game. The game plays itself, so all you do is, like, sit there and potentially watch it. And be like, oh, this guy's got a new friend.
From the way I understand it is, like, you have to wake your guy up because when you go to sleep, it apparently goes to sleep at some time, whatever. But then when you wake up, you wake him up and then he goes about his day. But all at the same time, like, nothing really happens if you don't wake him up either. Like, you just sleep forever. Like,
So you're paying to have
It's
an
actually called the-
imaginary friend who's a fantasy character with narcolepsy.
Wow.
Hey, Chris, I have a great idea for a new comic.
It's a comic that writes itself!
And nobody has to read it.
Wow.
Wait,
I
you wrote?
have-
Awful.
I have no comment. I have
Well,
nothing
this is-
left to say
Do you
about
see what
this
they call
topic.
this? They call
I'm
it an
skipping
alarm
myself.
playing game.
Yep.
All right, we're done. Let's move on.
Nikki, your topic, please.
My topic. Oh, you
Yes.
picked the least interesting one. Well, this one was interesting. Well, I'm always
It's your topic.
following. I know, but it was something that I'm always looking at the crowdfunding campaigns, and we're gonna pick on another game, possibly. Okay, Exploding Kittens has broken the record for most money gained in a Kickstarter for a game. $8.7 million in its campaign.
Exploding Kittens, you guys. Come on.
Okay,
I would pay for Exploding
No,
Kittens.
wait a second. All they wanted to raise was $100,000 to make the game. That was it. And the game.
Wait. LORT alert. Producer Ian backed this game.
Yeah, well, a couple of us backed the game and never expected it to go further.
If you back the game, chat. If you back the game, chat. Type a 1 in chat. We want to know if you back this game. Go ahead, Pixie.
All right.
The upcoming card game in which no actual kittens are blown up.
Wait, that's not true.
Say this. Like,
no kittens were
actual
harmed.
kittens were harmed in
you
the
see- So it's a card game. You just keep turning over cards until somebody gets the exploding kitten. That's it.
I don't know about
Now there are cards that let you peek at the card in front of it. So oh my god, this is just weird.
But the thing is games like this are not uncommon. Like
$9 million.
We didn't playtest this at all. We still didn't playtest this at all. Those are really fun games, and they're basically just like super unbalanced. You can lose the game at like any 10-second interval because you can draw cards that are like, congratulations, you lose.
So Pyro said that the Exploding Kittens is by the oatmeal.
Yes.
Which makes sense that it's $9 million was raised. Because they keep throwing money at it anyway. They'd be like, oatmeal! Give it to me!
Yes,
Are you
that's
saying
right.
that they're biased to the oatmeal?
Oh!
Yeah.
Yo, who doesn't like oatmeal?
Yeah!
Yes.
Just
oatmeal teaches me lots of stuff.
I mean, I don't actually like oatmeal, but whatevs.
So what drove our own producer to putting in for the game?
Let's ask him. Producer Ian. He's got to get his mic up.
He's got to turn off the sound around him.
Yeah.
Because it's a hilarious concept. And it's going to be an awesome party game at my game nights at home.
I mean, that's true. You can turn this into the best drinking game ever.
Especially with the not safe for work deck.
Oh! How soon before the electronic version comes out?
Probably not long.
Yeah.
So, Chris, what do you think about Kickstarter, first and foremost? Are you a fan? And secondary, Exploding Kittens.
Kickstarter can be a great thing for the right project. I would have given money to this, but if it doesn't involve real kittens, I don't think they need real money.
Well, disclaimers rolling down there at the bottom, guys.
All I'm saying. Oh, it'd be awesome.
The only thing that would make you even more perfect as a guest is if you brought a topic tonight.
Android. No one's topped Android.
No one's topped Android yet, but it's okay. We got lots of time. Let me go with let's go with 6. 6, what do you think about this here game? We really haven't touched base on everyone's thoughts about Kickstarter being a great place or overflooded market. You tired of some Kickstarter, Indiegogo type projects? Go for it.
First of all, since you brought up, I actually wrote an editorial for Aggressive Comics about why I believe Kickstarter is fantastic and why I believe that people need to get over themselves and start funding projects on Kickstarter. First of all, Kickstarter is a way for indie companies to not have to compromise their vision for people who are going to be funding their projects from bigger companies. People don't understand that when you are getting money from an investment company or somebody is giving you money to develop, you are under an umbrella. There are things that you need to get voted in or out of a game. And things that could revolutionize your game, things that could be very important to you in a game, things that you think make your game special and different, but they want another Call of Duty or another Final Fantasy or whatever it is that they think is going to make them the most money, need to get put into that game because they are funding your money. Crowdfunding gives a way for more experimental projects to be brought to light and to see the light of day as they are envisioned from people who want to play and make these games. So if you're going to fund a Kickstarter project, don't fund, in my opinion at least, I wouldn't fund a project that's like a game that I've already played a million times. I would want to fund a project that's going to make something different in gaming, maybe something that doesn't necessarily use combat, or something that's going to be a little bit more cerebral, things that wouldn't necessarily get pushed in a mainstream market. I think that this project in particular is adorable. No, but I think that it could be fun, and I think it sounds like it could be a lot of fun for people. I don't drink. I don't know if I can comment on it being a drinking game.
I think it would be the best.
Honey, we
Yeah.
could fix that problem that you have.
Oh, no, I don't want to drink. No,
We'll play it for you and see how that works.
Yeah.
I'm stingy.
We should all just buy a deck. We should all just legit buy a deck and then stream us playing it as a drinking game.
Ian and I are getting
Hey,
decks.
Pixie, I think we need to tweet them and get them on the show. I think that would be awesome to have a conversation about this here game. And we will play it, trust me, because anything that says exploding kittens, and
Ladies of the Round Table.
yeah, I think it's us
Ladies
all
of the
day.
And
We
if it's
gotta
not real
vet
kittens,
it.
what is
We gotta vet it. You know what I mean? We gotta just do our thing. We would be doing a disservice to our fans if we did
When
this.
are we gonna play?
Thing to do.
I thought we were gonna play Cards Against Humanity together.
Oh, we are.
Oh,
Don't
we
worry.
need to. We can do that online.
yeah, I know.
Easy.
We're doing it. We're doing
Angry
it.
Apples.
Angry Apples.
Basically, right?
Angry Apples is really fun.
Yeah.
So,
This
do we have any
fixed
more
it.
questions in chat for Chris? Because I know they were coming fast and hard. Yes, I said
Fast
that.
and Furious.
Mm.
Pixie, can you pick those up for me? I lost the. There we go.
So let's see, which ones have there been any that we've done? Oh, Christopher, if any superhero were a cupcake, who would you eat?
Oh my God.
That collie question.
Because
So,
we can.
be careful.
Let's see. If any superhero were a cupcake, which one would I eat?
Harlequin. No.
Shush your front door.
Super.
The Hulk, because the angrier the Hulk gets, the more delicious he gets.
Okay.
That's
I never would have thought of that, but yeah, I think he would probably be the best cupcake.
green.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe Thor. Thor could also be a really good cupcake.
Oh.
Because I feel like the lightning could be like Pop Rocks.
Only Pixie.
Pixie, you have a wonderful brain. I love it.
Pop Rocks like sprinkles.
Yeah, like Pop Rock sprinkles or like a Pop Rock center, like a fizzy center. Oh man.
So, Six, your turn with the cupcake question.
I'm pretty sure that most of the women in DC are made of 90% cheesecake.
Well,
I think
sugar and
that's
spice
the
and everything
main
nice.
ingredient. I think the
Catwoman.
Pop Rocks question is kind of interesting. I think that Dr. Manhattan would taste like Pop Rocks.
Okay.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah, like because when what was it? When Lori had his fingers in her mouth, she's like, "Oh, you taste like he buzzed her or something." I was like, "Oh, I imagine that tastes like Pop Rocks."
Aegon said the Flash cupcake digests so fast she'll never
You'll
gain
never
weight.
gain weight.
Wait, what did he say?
That one would be mine.
Wait,
So
what did he
said
say?
them all the time.
Flash cupcake. You digest it so fast you never gain weight.
They stole mine, but I was gonna go somewhere else with that.
That's like that skinny vodka. You know, you drink it and you just lose weight.
I was gonna say.
It depends on whether or not you do what I do and you just go like hobo and put it in a paper bag and then drink it.
I was going to use the Flash, but in a different way.
Go for it.
Bet you were.
I was going to say I wouldn't eat a Flash cupcake because you'd be looking forward to it all day long, but it'd be over in a second.
She's here all week.
I don't know. I don't forget to tip the wait staff. Good night, everybody.
Let's see.
Every Friday
Deadpool.
night.
Apparently, Deadpool is the best cupcake because he would just come back as a cupcake.
Oh, wow.
Zombie
Did that come
logic.
from chat?
Yeah.
That's epic.
That's Zombie Jugs.
Zombie Jugs trying to pick up that MVP baton and run away with it.
They get an MVP.
Chris.
No, they get an MVP only if they can tell me why Wolverine would be on the inverse the worst cupcake.
Oh,
God.
Challenge,
You could tell me.
challenge thrown down.
You guys got.
Because it would just keep on
It
going.
would be
No, hold on.
like metal.
Hold on.
That would be
Why?
very painful.
Hold on.
Wait, Chris, why?
Because it would
Covered
just
in hair.
No.
it would just keep on regenerating.
Pixie was closer.
Dude, it'd be like eating a metallic cupcake.
Kinda. Adamantium is poison.
Oh, now we're getting
Zombie
technical.
said, "'Cause it's skeleton."
So here's
Pro
the
tip.
question. If you had to pick any dumb villain that you really liked, or any dumb superhero, who are they and why?
Wow, we're just going
Like,
to town.
I'll give you an example. Paste Pot Pete and Brother Power the Geek are like my two favorites.
What?
Hey?
All right, I think you just took it a little too far, Pixie. You lost them.
Okay.
Actually, Nick
Y'all
got
lost
the
it.
question right. He knew it was adamantium. Look at
Yeah.
that. They're a couple seconds below, before, behind us. Actually, below, before, behind us. Blah blah blah. But yeah. So. If I could
How we
pick-
doing on time, guys?
We're done.
We are running over, but we're having so much fun. So I want to throw one last question to Chris. Chris, I want you to throw out a quick trivia question about yourself to the chat, and we will pick one chat person for a giveaway, for one final giveaway. Someone who gets this answer correct.
A trivia question about myself or my work.
Correct. Or your personal life, if you'd just like to tell us boxers or briefs. I mean, go ahead.
No,
For
I'll throw this one out there. I drew 46 out of the 50 issues of the Batman Strikes for DC Comics. Who was my regular inker on that series?
Paige, you can't answer.
Excuse me?
You're not qualified. Throw your answer up in the chat, guys, and you will.
People are on the internet. You could have looked it
they're,
up by
they're
now.
Googling.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
I know.
Googling. We're giving you time.
It's very googly of them, huh? Let's go.
Come on, guys.
In
We're
the meantime,
jokes tonight.
We are.
in the meantime, you need to draw a comic of each one of the 5 of us for our next show. No.
Oh, that would be
That's
awesome. A character for each of us. That would be
right.
supreme.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Anybody put an answer up in chat?
Nobody?
Come on, chat fail. Let's go. What's wrong with you kids?
We-
Chad, it was
we
Iris
should be-
says Chad.
Well, are you giving away anything for the right answer? I mean,
I'm giving
motivate
away.
them.
I am giving away.
Points.
Yeah,
So-
there is a delay. Thank you, Ian. I am giving away epic loot tonight. You just don't even know. They're
what?
getting items in their Twitch mail. They are.
Yeah, remember the delay. It's 30 to 40. Yeah, that's right.
Let's see, we're seeing some Who is Batman? Chad, was it Tom?
No,
sorry.
it wasn't Dick or Harry either.
No.
That's right, Minerva. You and I were really good at stick figures.
I can't do stick
Such good
figures.
stick figure drawers. Yo, I make some bad, awesome stick figures.
Oh,
Look at this.
get it?
What's
I'm about to
Dick's-
show my awesome stick figure skills right now.
Oh, chat fail.
Nancat. What?
You guys, just Google it.
Let's, Chris,
Uh,
We already said we're going to.
repeat the
Russ-
question one more time.
Russ
Chris.
Jones.
The question is, who was my regular inker on the Batman Strikes? If I remember correctly, he inked all but one of the issues I penciled of that series.
All right, so you have 2 answers in there now. Which one is it?
Read the answer.
So good at stick figures.
I see Russ Jones. I see Jason Todd.
Jason Todd, Russ Jones, Tom from MySpace. I really just.
That was his job.
Oh, you guys disappoint me.
Terry Beatty.
Terry Beatty is the correct answer.
Terry Beatty.
Oh!
Who's the winner?
The winner
It's gonna
is
be Nip and Pod.
Nip and Pod.
Nip and Pod.
Yay!
Nip and Pod for the win. Thank you for playing with the Google tonight. I am going to send your epic loot to your Twitch mail. While I'm doing that, we are going to roll into our shout-outs. I am going to have Nikki go first.
Oh, just a big shout out to Christopher, as we always give to our guests, because you were amazing tonight. And chat, another active week. You guys are amazing. And I'd like to give a shout out to a couple of people out there that I've been talking to the last couple of weeks. Richard Garriott, who I may have on my show real soon, and Sandy Gardner and Chris Roberts, who were on my show, but due to an audio problem, we couldn't get the show put up there. And, of course, to everyone that has followed us in the past couple of shows. We really are starting to see an uptick in that, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, we have some great followers now.
Yeah.
Kimmy.
Yeah, Chris, it's been awesome. This has been a great show, and you were an awesome guest. I think this is probably the most fun I've had on the show in probably since I've started.
Yeah.
So, you'll definitely have to come back again soon. I really hope we get to have you back on again, if you will come back.
I would be delighted to come back. Let me know when.
And,
next week.
always, the lovely
Cranberry.
Cranberry, who's always in the background. And to all my lovely Lesbros in the chat, there are some of you here, so love you.
Lesbros, aw.
Pixie.
So yeah, Chris, you have been amazing. Super fun. Thanks for cluing us in on the RPG there. I really appreciate it.
You're gonna sue me.
I'm sorry. I have really bad jokes. It's just something I do. I'm not actually a funny person. I just have bad jokes all
Yes,
around.
you are.
I shout out to Carmen's dog. Shout out to you guys for being on the show again. It's always fun to hang out here with you guys. Thanks to everyone in chat who had some amazing questions this week. Be sure to tune in next week. We'll be here. And shout out to Cards and Castles. So I got a beta key for Cards and Castles. I've been playing it. I really like it. So we'll be talking about that in the next couple of weeks.
And 6.
All right. First of all, shout out to Christopher Jones. Thank you very much. I love that our comic community is growing. I love that you are a supporter of that. And I love that you have been a fantastic guest on top of being a fantastic artist. You deserve all the credibility that you have. Very much so. Shout out to Adam West. Shout out to and Batman 66, of course.
What about shout out to Bat Nipples?
Shout out. They shout out all on their own.
Oh, they are definitely out.
All right. So, shout out to Image Comics Manhattan Project as part of Image Comics. I love Image Comics. Image for life. Shout out to Vidar the Game. This is a Kickstarter with 6 days to go. It is an RPG that has a truly randomized experience, a puzzler where everyone dies. It's being made by one artist, and one man is programming it here in Manhattan. It is fantastic. It is almost fully funded. Shout out to Heart Peace Podcast, another great Kickstarter that just started. They just got their first 350 today with 7 backers. It's a talk show by a husband and wife who want to help people who want to incorporate gaming into their lives and their relationships, learn how to work through things through gaming and to incorporate game nights and how to play together and balance life. It's fantastic. If you're familiar with the Master Joe show, Master Joe is the one who will be heading that with his wife. And finally, 13 days to go for Underworld Ascendant. Ooh. If you guys are not following Underworld Ascendant, then you do not know your roots, and you need to figure out what you're doing with your life and why you're here on a gaming show. Underworld Ascendant is almost fully funded as well.
Right.
Very, very close to being fully funded. This could be a new Ultimate game. So.
No, it will be.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It will be. Well, I've seen Kickstarters fall right at the end, and I always get nervous with those things. But I don't think.
There's a big push coming. Don't worry.
We have people from BioShock, Skyrim, Deus Ex, Dragon Age. Some of the greatest developers and the greatest video game minds are behind this Kickstarter and behind Other Side, who is going to be making this game. So if you guys have not checked out any of those Kickstarters, I think that you definitely should take your time right now and go and look them up because they are fantastic. And while you're online, head over to your local comic book shop online and get Batman 66 for Chris Jones over here. All right.
Not in the current issue, but,
listen,
have been and will be, so,
Batman 66 is fantastic.
It is.
It's great. No, really. It's fantastic. All right. I think that I plugged enough there. Oh, Arcade Android and my boyfriend, of course, his girlfriend. Took a
plugged herself. Oh, did I get everybody? I feel like I got lost there. I think I did. All right, it's my turn. I want to give a big shout out to our newest sponsor, Origin PC, as well as our other sponsors. You know who you are. I'm not going to name them all off because there are a couple. There's like 8 now or 9. Appreciated everything that you guys are doing for our charity and helping out with our scholarship foundation. Big shout out to our regulars in chat, each and every one of you coming back every Friday to have so much fun with us. We would not have a show without you, and we do enjoy all of your commentary. You guys make us laugh, smile, and sometimes cry. Thank you for being here and giving us the troll love from time to time because we need that tough love. You know how we roll. I want to thank Chris for joining us. It is amazing every time we get together. You don't disappoint, sir. That artistic ability does go beyond just the drawing. You have great charisma, and you are a very approachable person, and we don't find that in our community as an everyday. So we want to say that we appreciate you for being who you are.
Well, thank you. I was going to say thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me on the show. I'm always happy talking to fans, whether it's at conventions or through my social media. If you come find my my blog, there's links to all my social media from there. I know you've got stuff up on your site and in the chat and all that stuff. So I always love talking to people. Do not be intimidated. I'm a big teddy bear. Come on, talk to me.
My last shout out goes to our next week guests, which will be Daryl and Janet, the directors and creators for World 1-1 film documentary on gaming. It was premiered on the Twitch movie, not this past Friday, but tonight, but last Friday. If you watched it, that's the movie we're talking about. If you haven't watched it, it's going to be on VH1. Or has already been on VH1. It's actually going to be out on, I believe, Netflix and maybe Hulu soon. I'm not quite sure. But we'll be talking about that movie and running some of the clips next week. So be sure to join us. Same bad channel, same bad time. We're here every week, Friday night, 9:30 Eastern, LORT Live. Maybe just a little bit late sometimes because of technical difficulty, but we're really working on it, guys. We're trying to get everything together. This production that we put together each week is not an easy feat. And again, shout outs to each and every one of you ladies that are sitting here at the table with me. I have so much fun every week. I look forward to my Fridays with you. And when each of you are gone, like Nikki was gone the other week, we missed you tremendously. We're glad to have you back. Chris, go ahead and throw your shout outs. You got any for us?
Well, like I said, thank you guys for having me on. The one serious shout out, I just wanted to say thank you so much to Hal Bishel for everything she does for me. She's my helper at conventions. She is my force multiplier for everything I do with social media and all that good stuff. You know, when I go to a convention, especially, I get so busy my social media would go dark if I was there by myself, but instead it explodes with posts and photos of people in cosplay and all kinds of good stuff. And she's the one to thank for making all that happen. And the only regret I have about this whole experience is that the issue of who is the best Batman seems to have largely been decided on nipples. People don't even know. Kevin,
Beefcake. We want the beefcake.
Who? Hey, let him talk. Let him talk.
Nipples.
Let him give his opinion.
Nipples.
I'm saying, Kevin, even if we're just judging this on nipples, Kevin Conroy.
All right.
Okay.
Okay,
He's actually the only Batman I follow on Twitter. So
it's hashtag Nipplegate all day. You know what I'm saying, guys? Whew. All right, on that note, Chris, thank you so much again for joining us. Ladies, we will be back next week, same bad time, same bad channel, because I like saying that because Chris is here. And producer Ian, thank you so much for what you do back there, rolling all that footage and keeping up with all this chit-chat that we have going on. And that's Ladies Out. Dance it out, girls and Chris. Boogie down. Roll those credits. Shake it, shake it.
Good dance, kitty.
Look at that. Go ahead, Cranberry. I see you back there.
Oh, I see you, baby. Shake that thing.
Go ahead, Chris. You got
Elaine
moves.
Venice.
Chris got some. Look at that foot. Go, man. Go ahead.
Go do the Elaine.
Work it out.
Tell me we're done.
So much fun.
Are we done? Are we good?
Ian, we'll